Hey guys, hey, Chuck here from what was formerly known as East to West. It's now called Hillside, and I'll explain more later why I've decided to change the name. But I think I'm going to open every show with a joke, and my buddy just told me a good one that I'm gonna share with you. What do you call a lawyer? Oh no! Take two. What do you call a priest who becomes a lawyer? A father-in-law. That's hilarious. Totally hilarious. But anyway, hey, how you guys doing out there? It's nice and drizzly, cold out there. Wish it was warm again, but that's okay. But yeah, I hope you had a great week. I had a great week. You know, getting better with my health. Everything's going good. I hope things are going good for you. You know, I got a couple buddies who are struggling with some stuff. You know, if you could keep them lifted up in prayer and just help them see through their struggles that they're going through. And so the reason I've decided to change the name of the show from East to West to Hillside is because I want this show really to be about building community and about walking alongside with each other. And I remember when I took a trip out to Wyoming to see one of the sites out there that they had, one of the monuments, I just remember standing on the side of the hill and looking out over the meadow and seeing the river in the distance and everything surrounding it, and just thinking, man, how beautiful that view is. And so I just want us to be able to have that same kind of view when it comes to our relationships with other people or even our own community, to where we can step back and be on that hill and look at our community and see all the beauty and the vastness of that community. You know, and to be able to see the beautiful people that are in our community, and our neighbors and friends and family and schoolmates and whatever, you know, to be able to see the beauty of them and the beauty that's inside them, because all of us have beauty inside of us that needs to come out, that needs to be exposed, because then when we start doing that and we start working on that with each other, I think we really just do become a really true community. I think differences are set aside for whatever span of time we're together. I think we just look at each other like humans, like we're human, you know, like we're just meant to be together, you know, and hang out and love each other. Man, we don't have enough love in this world anymore. It's gone to the wayside. It's like, you know, it's like we are being programmed that we have to hate each other because of our differences, and our differences actually make us our togetherness, you know. It's what makes us unique. Speaking of unique, how do you catch a unique rabbit? My producer's shaking his head because he knows he loves this joke. He actually asked me to tell it twice. No, he didn't. I'm lying. I can't lie on my show. No lie. So anyway, how do you catch a unique rabbit? You unique up on him. So anyway, yes. So if rabbits can be unique and accepted and loved, so can we. You know, I just see too many times, especially with young kids nowadays, I just see so much sadness in their eyes and doubt and fear and struggles. And, you know, I just like to ask them, hey, what are you going to do when you go to college? What are you going to do when you graduate? What are your dreams? What are your aspirations? You know, because I'm a kind of guy, I like to talk to people. I like to talk. Sometimes I don't make much sense, but I still like to talk. And so I like to find out what their dreams are, what their hopes are, and do you have a plan? You know, if you don't have a plan, let's figure out a plan. Let's figure out how we can help you to achieve that dream that you have, because everybody has a dream. You know, I remember from a movie back in the 80s, at the end, the guy was going down the street going, what's your dream? What's your dream? Everybody has a dream. Everybody has something that they desire to do in the future in their lives. Whether the future is tomorrow, next week, next month, next year, when they graduate, whatever they want to do, you know. And they may not know how to get there, but I think we can, as a community, help each other figure out how to start getting there. And I think that's so crucial in community, is when we can be able to take our weaknesses and our experiences and not use them to create opinions, you know, but to be able to create doorways, to be able to help other people walk through that doorway. Because too many times, whatever experiences we've gone through, good or bad, ends up as an opinion. And then sometimes those opinions can become judgments. And then those judgments can become hurdles. And then those hurdles can be things that make people stumble and make people struggle and make people feel like they're all alone in this world and that there's no hope for them. And there's hope for everybody. There's hope for community for everybody. Nobody on this planet is an island. Nobody on this planet is meant to be by themselves. They're meant to walk, talk, and share with each other. That's what we're called to do. You know, I have so many good, great conversations with people. You know, a couple years ago I struggled with cancer, went through that whole thing with the chemo and the radiation, and out of that process, I've made so many friends, so many long-lasting friendships, because I decided that I was going to take my struggles and I was going to try to help somebody else with their struggle. You know, our weaknesses aren't really meant to keep us down and to keep us locked up. Our weaknesses are to help us unlock not only the doors in our own souls, but also the doors in the souls of others. You know, just by being able to have that I've been there advice, that I've been there moment, you know, and being able to say, you know what, I've been here. You know, my situation may not look like your situation, but you know what, the answer is still the same. The road is still the same. You know, let me help you pick up those boulders that are blocking you from continuing on in your journey of life, you know. Let's be boulder movers for people. Let's be rock movers for people in this community and in the circle of our friendships in our lives. And, you know, just walk on with them. Keep on walking on, you know. One step at a time. You know, no great success story happens overnight. It may look like that. It may be suddenly all of a sudden a star is born, you know, but there's a journey that led up to that moment. You know, and any good thing that happens in our life and any bad thing that happens in our life, most time is the end result of a journey that we've chosen to walk through. You know, and when we choose to walk through a journey that leads to community and love and connectiveness, it not only satisfies our soul, but it also satisfies the souls of those around us, because we realize truly what it means to be in a community. Not just living next to each other. You know, I have a whole bunch of neighbors that I live next to. I know every one of them by name. We've all gone out to dinner together. We've had barbecues together. We've had fellowship together. We've had, you know, one of the coolest things that I got to do is there's a Jewish family that lives next to me. I got to go and have Passover with them. I'd never done that before. And it was fascinating. It was fun. But you know what? I could say, you know, I don't believe in that. That's not what I believe, so I'm not going to experience that. How much do we miss out on life when we let our opinions and judgments stop us from fellowshipping with people? I have a great guy that owns a cafe down in downtown Champaign. I love talking to this guy. He's a Greek Orthodox. Man, I love listening to his stories about when he was in Lebanon and when in the services and all that stuff. It's just amazing when you stop and say, you know what, I'm going to take time to really get to know somebody. Because when we really get to know somebody, then we get to know somebody. You know, it's not just name only, title only, but it's a person that's standing in front of you that you really desire to know and care about. And then when that happens, I'm telling you, then it spreads, you know, and I'm telling you, isn't it not true that when we're loving each other and enjoying each other's company, doesn't it seem like all that other stuff just falls away? For me, it does. For me, it feels like I just get to have that moment of peace with somebody and you know, just listening. You know, I just went and hung out with a dear friend of mine who just got recently diagnosed with some pretty serious cancer. You know, and he's devastated and scared. But you know, but we were able to break bread for an hour and have just a good fellowship that, you know, it made him forget for an hour all the the news that he had just gotten, you know, even for an hour. You know, we can change somebody's moment, even if it's for a moment, just by acknowledging and connecting instead of disconnecting and saying, you know, they don't look like me, they don't talk like me, they don't walk like me, so I'm not going to hang out with them. That's idiotic. That's just, I can't even fathom that kind of thinking to where I'll sit down with anybody. I'll talk to anybody. Anybody who will listen to me. Not very many, you know. usually I end up just talking to my wife, but she's a pretty good listener. But anyway, you know, it's just neat when you can just walk up to somebody and say, hey, how are things going? How's life going? You know, and actually mean it. You know, you can't just go up and say, hey, how's things going? And they start telling you like, mm-hmm, oh, okay, mm-hmm, that's nice. No, you got to be like, wow. And even to be able to say, you know what, man, that sucks. I hear you. That's struggles, but, you know, hey, can we get out of this? You know, what can we do together? Let's start forming a plan to how we can figure out how to get out of this muck and mire that we're in. You know, somebody told me a long time ago, because I used to be a little sensitive. People would call me names, and you know, and I'd get upset and hurt. And so I had a really good dear friend of mine tell me one time. She goes, you know, when people, you know, come try to get your goat, because you've heard the old expression, you know, don't let them get your goat. You never heard that before? Oh boy. I guess it's us old folks who know that expression, but anyway, so they say don't let them get your goat. So when they come to try to get your goat, hide your goat. And that's what I've been learning over the last few months, you know, is when people try to, and struggles are coming, what does that really look like? How can I look at that struggle and those words through the eyes of love? How can I still look at that person who's, you know, being judgmental or opinionated or hurtful, and still look at them and say, you know what, I'm going to love them no matter what? Because that's what love does. Love looks through all of that muck and mire and says, you know what, I'm going to love you no matter what. You know, I'm going to help walk you through this. Because, you know, sometimes I like to try to tell people, you know, the basis foundation for my thinking when I try to reach out to people who are struggling and hurting is, I don't know what moment they've just walked out of. We don't know. You know, they just could have gotten some seriously bad news, or they could have just gotten, you know, whatever. So is it my job as a person to make their day worse by being offended by, you know, a hurt that may come along, or a hurtful word or whatever? That's most likely 9 times out of 10 not even meant for me. It's just a reactionary moment, you know? Or do I help redirect that day and at least let them know in that moment one person is thinking about them. One person is here that's looking out for them, you know, caring for them, wanting nothing but the best for them. And I think when people start to know that and realize that, hey, you know what, no matter what I'm going through, there's somebody out there that's thinking of me and wants nothing but the best for me, I think that stuff just spreads like wildfire, you know. We all get to sit on the hillside together and look at the beautiful view, you know, instead of playing king of the mountain, you know, and acting like we're the only one allowed to sit on the hillside and enjoy the view, and everybody else has to struggle down in the middle. And that's not the way life works. We're all supposed to sit on the hill and enjoy each other's company. I mean, when I go out on trips with my wife and on vacation, you know, we just enjoy each other's company in the car. We just enjoy it. You know, we're great car buddies. You know, we pretty much like the same music. We can talk about pretty much the same stuff. You know, we can be quiet if we want to. There's no awkwardness to it. You know, and my motto is, when I'm walking through life, I've never met a stranger yet. You know, everybody's friends. I love everybody. I try to get along with everybody. I try to encourage everybody. You know, because I just realized, you know, after the cancer situation, these days are not guaranteed to anybody. So you can't waste a day. And I try not to waste a day on being at the end of the day saying, man, I wish I could have done something better. I wish I could have done something different. Because we all can make that choice to enrich somebody else's life. We can all make that choice to love and to keep on loving no matter what. So I'm going to wrap that up for this episode. I'm glad you guys tuned in here to the new Hillside. Looking forward to seeing you next week. Hopefully you've had a great week by then. I'm just going to wish everybody a great week. Like I said, if you go out and find somebody that you don't know, make them a friend. Or if you have a friend that you haven't talked to in a while, text them, call them, say, hey, how you doing? What's up? Break bread together, have community together. Because when two are gathered, then it can be 4, and then it can be 8, and then it can be 12, and then it can multiply, and then we can just go down the street and wouldn't it be great to be able to walk down the street and know everybody's name that you walk by? And be able to say, hey, what's up, John? Hey, what's up, Mark? Hey, what's up, Lisa? Hey, what's up, Tina? You know, and actually because we've stopped to get to know each other and invited each other to sit on the hillside and enjoy the view. So until next week, we love you here at Hillside, and we'll talk to you later. Have a good day, guys. Have a great week, and get out there and love on somebody. Thanks.